everybody and welcome back. This is the next video and this is about science. So, we have been talking about different materials and we have been talking about recycling materials. Yeah? Maybe you remember the story about the messy magpie, about this bird who was living in his nest and collected all the shiny materials because he wanted to decorate her nest. Do you remember? Well, if you don't remember, it's not bad because we're going to do it again. That's right, we're going to read the story again. So, I know that you really like the story, so I hope that you, will learn some new things about this, okay? And meanwhile, I'm going to ask you some questions, and it's mostly about the materials. So, are you ready? Because I have it here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. There it is. And then we can start. So this is the story, the messy magpie. Now, which kind of materials does she like to collect? Do you see? I see keys, a clock, like things from bottles. Lots of different materials, yeah? Would it be good to collect those materials and to decorate your house with that? Maybe. But let's see what happens in this story and let's see if it's a good idea. So, it's often been noted that as years have gone by, that magpies collect all the things that they spy. They love all things colorful, shiny and bold, no matter how tiny, no matter how old. Morris the magpie is the same, it would seem, as he loves to pick up any objects that gleam. He takes them all home to his nest in a tree to make it look special for others to see. So why does the magpie collect all those materials? Because he wants to decorate his home, right? Because he thinks that it's pretty to use those materials to decorate his home. But look, a toothbrush, some glasses. Now, one day, young Morris was struck by surprise when a gift was thrown down in front of his eyes. As it flew from a car, Morris said, "Could it be that this human has given a present to me?" What about that? Is that a present? Did the people throw that bottle out of the car by surprise? Was it a present for Morris? He thinks so. He swooped down to pick up the beautiful gift, which was hard to maneuver and heavy to lift. He carried it home though it took him all day, and then he cleaned up his present to put on display. He wanted to decorate all that he could, so the next day he went to the edge of the wood. He flew to the place where the gift had been dropped, where he saw that a family of humans had stopped. He hopped down to search for his gift on the floor, but he noticed that this time they left many more. Shimmering treasures amongst all the green, these gifts were the finest that Morris had seen. Look, all these gifts for the bird. Is that good? Is it good from those people to leave all the things behind and just walk away? Would you do that? Each day he returned and he couldn't believe all the wonderful gifts that were left to retrieve. His tree was soon bursting with no space for more, so he started to spread them all out on the floor. The more of these gifts that his human friends threw, the more his collection expanded and grew. Look, all those gifts. Well, he must think that it is really beautiful, yeah? What do you think? Does it look pretty to you? Is it nice to see all those things in the nature? Or is that another way to do this? Then one day, as Morris was sat in his tree, admiring the beauty of all he could see, he noticed that things were now changing below, that the plants were all dying and struggling to grow. The grass was not green like it had been before. The flowers were wilting, not bright anymore. His animal friends watched in fear and distress, as their homes and their food were soon lost to the mess. Look what a mess! And all the animals are struggling and they are unable to grow. So what is the thing that he could do? Would he continue collecting more things? He turned to the stream, which no longer looked blue, but instead had a horrible, muddy-like hue. The water was flowing more slowly that day, as the big piles of rubbish were blocking its way. "Oh no!" Morris cried, as he gasped with alarm. "I never intended to cause all this harm. The forest is damaged, the humans were unkind. All these gifts were just rubbish that got left behind." It's all rubbish, so those things aren't gifts. There is lots of rubbish everywhere, and you see the water isn't blue anymore. It's like green and bleh, full of dirt. The pride Morris felt for his lovely display was soon turning to sadness, regret, and dismay. He adored the collection he'd lovingly built, but his joy had now turned to a feeling of guilt. So he felt guilty. And why would he feel guilty? He vowed himself he would put it all right. So he leaped off his branch and then quickly took flight. He soared high and low looking for a clue that would show him the safest and best thing to do. He noticed a truck driving past on the road, which was filled with a very familiar load. He followed the truck to see where it would go, and feeling hopeful he'd find what he needed to know. Morris arrived at a bustling place, which had giant containers and masses of space. Each bin had a sign marking what it was for, and the rubbish piled out, with each car adding more. Is this a good place to throw the rubbish? Yes, because they are recycling the materials, right? They are putting it in different bins because they have marks on it, so you can see, hey, this is for plastic, this is cardboard, this is, I don't know. Yeah, so you have to separate the rubbish. But where does it go? Whispered Morris, confused. To his shock, a voice said, it gets crushed and reused. A seagull appeared and then said with a sigh, it's amazing what humans can do when they try. That's it, Morris said, and he knew what to do. If I bring it all here, then they can make something new. I might need some help, but I must make amends. So he called on a couple of very good friends. Why would he need all the friends? Why the friends should help him? Very good, to bring away all the rubbish from the nature. They fetched and they carried for most of the night, and they worked as a team till they put it all right. When the rubbish was gone, Morris looked all around, at the stream and the flowers, the trees and the ground. He desperately hoped that he'd made enough room for the beauty of nature to once again bloom. He planted and watered and nurtured away till the forest was thriving and growing each day. So when they put the rubbish away, what happened with the nature? It started to grow. Look, all the beautiful flowers, and the water is clean again, and all the animals look very happy. Then Morris knew nothing would make his heart sing like the colorful beauty that nature could bring. He no longer needed the shiniest nest, and he realized that having a green home was the best. So, does he prefer having all the rubbish over there? Or does he like to see the beauty of nature? He likes the nature, yeah? So that's the end of the story. So, why is it so important to recycle materials? Why do we recycle? So that the nature can grow, yeah? And the animals can live and the water stays clean. It's very important to recycle, but how do you do that exactly? You have to separate all the things. And the next video will be about that. So you have to help me recycling some materials. I'll see you there.